Next, I want to share with you what I learned from my daughter. While my daughter Serena was a graduate of the Chinese University of Hong Kong for her undergrad studies and Oxford University for her master studies, she edited the very first English student magazine at the Chinese University of Hong Kong, and the magazine is called Curiosity, during her undergrad years, and published her article on academic journal during her postgraduate years. I often let her proofread my manuscripts, and unlike my students who would normally read my papers with an appreciative mind, she would read my papers with a critical mind. In fact, her comments on my papers are usually harsh and tough and mean, such that I often feel very upset with them. But behind the harshness, I often feel sharpened by her questions into my thinking and her revisions of my writing. The point is, you want to get such hard questions or comments before a general editor confronts you later. The trap for publishing academic papers is often that we get nice people to give us soft comments for which we're delighted. We should rather get hard comments from critical minds to avoid receiving harsh criticisms from reviewers. I hope you'll keep this in mind. And my daughter often told me, don't be upset with my comments now. You will thank me later. And I did thank her. That's very true. And here is the magazine that she edited. It's called Curiosity. It's the first English student magazine at the Chinese University of Hong Kong. And here is the English article that's published. And here are the major conclusions that might be useful for you. Diabetes with or without obesity during pregnancy is harmful to both mother and the baby. Diabetes during pregnancy increases the risk for C-section delivery to mother. Diabetes during pregnancy increases the risk for large birth weight and a preterm birth for the baby. The conclusion is it is important to control blood sugar and weight before or during pregnancy. If you care, that's very important. Now, to prepare for today's talk, I even consulted Serena again. I asked her what advice you would give for writing a good academic paper. And here is my daughter's advice for writing a good academic paper. First, do a comprehensive literary review. You want to know what has been studied, addressed before. Otherwise, you'll say something that people have done before and make your review look stupid. Second, do distinguish between primary and secondary literary review. That's creative. Ask her, what do you mean by primary and secondary literary review? Well, he says that primary literary review is something that is intensive reading, and the secondary literary review is extensive reading. Oh, that's really loud and clear. So you read something intensively, you read something just quickly. You want to differentiate. Third, do identify the knowledge gap in research field or the research gap in the research field. You want to address something which has not been addressed before. Like in my daughter's article, she addressed the diabetes, obesity, and pregnancy for a population in Vietnam. She studied the people in Vietnamese population because her advisor at Oxford University is from Vietnam. If you study with the Chinese, you probably want to study the Chinese woman. So you want to know what the problems are, particularly the gaps that have not been addressed before. And fourthly, do craft sharp and focused research questions. Oftentimes, the fact that the study has not done before is not the cause or the reason for doing the study. You want to do something which has been studied a lot, but there is one but there's one gap or drawback that has not been identified or studied before. And this is what you should do. And do address your research questions in discussion. Oftentimes people, when they write discussion, they forgot their hypothesis or their research questions at the beginning. You have to get people's attention back to the research questions or the hypotheses that you raised or proposed at the beginning. And then sixthly, do emphasize the special strengths of your study and also address the limitation of your study as well. With that's about how to do a quality writing. Okay, having said all of this, I hope you're keeping this in mind, and this will help you do good English writing. And I wish you good luck in your submission or resubmission of your manuscripts. Thank you.